Hello everyone, I welcome you in lecture number 5 on beta and gamma function. In this lecture we will see what is relationship between beta and gamma functions, and then we will do some exercises related to beta and gamma functions. So the beta function is related to the gamma function by this relationship beta mn equal to gamma m into gamma n divided by gamma m plus n, and as we know it is defined for m and n positive. So this is very important relationship between beta and gamma function. We are going to use this relationship frequently in this lecture. So we will remember that beta mn is given by gamma m gamma n over gamma m plus n, and as we know beta function is defined for is convergent if m and n both are positive real numbers. So we know that beta function is defined if m and n both are positive real numbers. So we are assuming this relationship without proof. We are not going into the details of the proof of this relationship, and we will remember this relationship. Now using this relationship we can have this formula: integral from 0 to pi by 2 sin raised to p theta into cos raised to q theta d theta is equal to 1 by 2 beta function of p plus 1 by 2 comma q plus 1 by 2, and using the relationship between beta and gamma function we can show that this is equal to gamma function of p plus 1 by 2 times gamma function of q plus 1 by 2 over gamma function of p plus q plus 2 divided by 2. And here we are considering gamma function of p plus 1 by 2. So we know that this is defined if p plus 1 by 2 is positive. That means if p plus 1 is positive, that means if p is greater than minus 1. So this formula is valid if p is greater than minus 1. And same condition for q. If we want to define gamma function at q plus 1 by 2, then q plus 1 by 2 must be positive. That means q must be greater than minus 1. So this formula is valid if p and q both are greater than minus 1. So we can prove this formula using this relationship, using this property of beta function which we have proved in earlier lecture. In lecture number 4 we have shown that beta mn is given by 2 times 0 to pi by 2 sin raised to 2m minus 1 theta cos raised to 2n minus 1 theta d theta. Now here if we observe, here we have sin raised to p theta cos raised to q theta, and limits are from 0 to pi by 2. So if we compare, we have in place of p we have 2m minus 1 and 2n minus 1 is in place of q. Now this formula is valid for any positive real numbers m and n. So we can take 2m minus 1 equal to p and 2n minus 1 equal to q in this formula. To prove this formula, we consider 2m minus 1 equal to p and 2n minus 1 equal to q in this formula of beta function. So we are not changing the variable, we are just taking 2m minus 1 equal to p and 2n minus 1 equal to q, and from this we obtain m equal to p plus 1 by 2 and n equal to q plus 1 by 2. So if we substitute this in this formula, then here in the left hand side we replace m by p plus 1 by 2, n by q plus 1 by 2 equal to 2 times 0 to pi by 2. 2m minus 1 is replaced by p and 2n minus 1 is replaced by q. So therefore this is equal to 1 by 2 times beta function of p plus 1 by 2 over q plus 1 by 2. Now we use the relationship between beta and gamma function here. Beta mn is given by gamma m gamma n over gamma m plus n. So instead of m we have p plus 1 by 2. So gamma p plus 1 by 2. N is q plus 1 by 2 and addition of p plus 1 by 2 and q plus 1 by 2, and this 1 by 2 is from this. Okay, these two we have taken on this side, so we obtain this integral equal to 1 by 2 times this. Now if we simplify this denominator, then we have 2 is LCM and we have p plus q plus 1 plus 1, that is p plus q plus 2 over 2. And as we discuss, we can define gamma function of p plus 1 by 2 if p is greater than minus 1, and this is defined if q is greater than minus 1. So here we have proved this formula: 0 to pi by 2 sin raised to p theta cos raised to q theta d theta equal to 1 by 2 times beta function of p plus 1 by 2 comma q plus 1 by 2. And using the relation between beta and gamma function, we have shown that this is equal to gamma p plus 1 by 2 times gamma q plus 1 by 2 divided by 2 times gamma p plus q plus 2 by 2. So we can remember this formula easily, and using this formula we can find out values of this type of integrals. Okay, so if we are asked to find out or evaluate this type of integrals, we can directly use this formula or this formula. Now using this formula we can show that gamma 1 by 2 is under root pi. We had not proved this result, that how gamma 1 by 2 is under root pi. So today using this property we can prove this result. So we know this property, we have just shown that integral from 0 to pi by 2 sin raised to p theta cos raised to q theta d theta equal to gamma function of p plus 1 by 2 times gamma function of q plus 1 by 2 divided by 2 times gamma function of p plus q plus 2 divided by 2. So to prove this formula, in this formula we don't require sine and cosine terms. So if we want to omit sine and cosine terms, we can take p and q equal to 0. So we take p equal to q equal to 0 in this formula, and left hand side becomes integral from 0 to pi by 2 sin raised to 0 theta cos raised to 0 theta d theta. And if we put p equal to 0 here, we have gamma 1 by 2, same thing, this is gamma 1 by 2 for p equal to 0, and if we put p and q both 0, we have gamma 2 by 2, that is gamma 1. So it is 2 times gamma 1, and in the numerator we have gamma 1 by 2 into gamma 1 by 2. Now sin 0 and cos 0 both are 1, so here we have integral of 1 with respect to theta, and here we have gamma 1 by 2 in the multiplication 2 times, so this we can rewrite as square of gamma 1 by 2 over 2, and as we know gamma 1 is always 1, so we have replaced gamma 1 by 1. Now integral of 1 with respect to theta is theta, so we have this integral is theta where limits are from 0 to pi by 2, and we keep this as it is. gamma 1/2 square divided by 2. Now if we substitute limits here, upper limit is pi by 2, lower limit is 0, and this remains as it is, square of gamma 1 by 2 divided by 2. So therefore pi by 2 equal to square of gamma 1 by 2 divided by 2. So this 1 by 2 will cancel out, and we have pi equal to square of gamma 1 by 2, and therefore gamma 1 by 2 is nothing but square root of pi. So here we have proved that value of gamma function at 1 by 2 is under root pi using this formula. So this is very helpful formula. Now we consider this example, and we can find out value of this integral using this formula, which is in powers of sine and cosine. So here we have 0 to pi by 2 sine raised to p theta cos raised to q theta d theta. So if we compare with this function sine raised to p theta cos raised to q theta, we can see p is 3 and q is 5. Limits are from 0 to pi by 2. So here we have written this formula. This is given by gamma p plus 1 by 2 times gamma q plus 1 by 2 divided by 2 times gamma p plus q plus 2 divided by 2. So we take p equal to 3 and q equal to 5 in this formula. Taking p equal to 3, q equal to 5, we obtain left hand side is 0 to pi by 2 sine cube theta cos raised to 5 theta d theta, and here we have to put p equal to 3, that is gamma 3 plus 1 by 2, q is 5, so gamma 5 plus 1 by 2, and here 3 plus 5 plus 2 divided by 2. So now we simplify this. This is going to be 4 by 2, that is 2, and this is 6 by 2, that is 3. So gamma 2 into gamma 3 divided by 2 times, this is going to be 5 plus 3, 8 plus 2, 10 divided by 2, that is gamma 5. And as we know, if our number is positive integer, we have gamma n plus 1 equal to n factorial if n is natural number. So here gamma 2 is 1 factorial, gamma 3 is 2 factorial, and gamma 5 is 4 factorial. So using this property, we are able to write gamma 2 equal to 1 factorial, gamma 3 is 2 factorial, and gamma 5 is 4 factorial. And if we simplify, here 2 factorial is 2, 1 factorial is 1. Here we have 2 times 4 factorial, that is 4, 3, 2 and 1. So 2 will cancel out, and we will have 1 by 24 as our answer. So we can evaluate this type of integrals using this simple relationships involving beta and gamma function. We consider one more example. Evaluate 0 to 1 x raised to 5 into 1 minus x cube raised to 10 dx. So this integral looks like this definition of beta function, which is integral from 0 to 1 x raised to m minus 1 1 minus x raised to n minus 1 dx. Now if we wish, we can change the variable. Instead of x, we can put any dummy variable. Suppose I put t, then also there is no problem. So this is nothing but definition of beta function. Now if we compare this integral with this integral, we have x raised to 5, so there is no problem here, but here we require 1 minus x raised to 10, but instead of x we have x cube. So we will consider the substitution x cube equal to t. So let x cube equal to t, then x is nothing but t raised to 1 by 3. So therefore dx by dt is 1 by 3 times t raised to 1 by 3 minus 1, that is 1 by 3 times t raised to minus 2 by 3. So therefore from this we can write dx equal to 1 by 3 t raised to minus 2 by 3 dt. And what about limits? So when x is 0, t is 0, when x is 1, t is 1. So therefore our integral becomes integral from 0 to 1. X is t raised to 1 by 3 and here we have fifth power. So it is t raised to 1 by 3 raised to 5 and 1 minus x cube. So x cube we have put at t, x cube equal to t. So we have 1 minus t raised to 10 and dx is nothing but 1 by 3 d raised to minus 2 by 3 dt. So here we substitute values here. X is t raised to 1 by 3 and here we have x cube. So x cube is t raised to 10 and 1 by 3 into t raised to minus 2 by 3 dt. Now this 1 by 3 is independent of t, so we can take it outside and we have 1 by 3 times 0 to 1. This is going to be t raised to 5 by 3 and here we have t raised to minus 2 by 3 into 1 minus t raised to 10. And if we simplify this, we have 5 minus 2, that is 3 by 3, which is 1, and here we have 1 minus t raised to 10 and limits are from 0 to 1. So if we compare this with 0 to 1, t raised to m minus 1, 1 minus t raised to n minus 1 dt, then we can see power of m minus 1, power of t is 1 and here it is m minus 1, and here power of 1 minus t is 10, which is equal to n minus 1. Or we can write t raised to 1 as t raised to 2 minus 1 and 1 minus t raised to 10 equal to 1 minus t raised to 11 minus 1 dt. So by the definition of beta function, this is nothing but beta function of 2 comma 11. And using relationship between beta and gamma function, we have 1 by 3 times gamma 2 into gamma 11 over gamma 2 plus 11, that is gamma 13. Now gamma 2 is nothing but 1 factorial, gamma 11 is 10 factorial divided by 12 factorial. And if we simplify this, we have 1 over 3 into 12 into 11, that is 136. So in this way we can do some exercises using beta function also. So I hope you like this lecture. Thank you very much.